plastic glass would work perfectly fine as long as it is transparent, because we have to see through the glass. So I have to be able to see whatever is there behind the glass, right? If I hold this glass here or in front of me, you can still see what's behind it, right? You can see my sari, or if I hold it there, you can sort of still see a little bit of my face, right? It's got to be transparent. That's what's important for this. We're going to be doing a couple of experiments, as some of you have asked. We're going to be doing one experiment which does some magic with water. Um, and we are, let me once again show you, just bear with me for a minute. Yeah. Let me once again show you what materials you need for today's class. We have about 6 minutes before we get started. It's 4:54. We will start sharp at 5. Sorry. Here's what you need. You need an A4 size paper. You need a marker pen or a sketch pen. Black would be fantastic, but if you don't have black, if you have any other color, that is also perfectly fine, as long as the color is bright and dark so that you can see very, very clearly. That's the only reason. Now, in the event you have no sketch pen or marker pen, that's fine. Use a thick pencil, or a pen would also work. Any ballpoint pen will also work very fine, because when you're going to draw, you will have to draw it thick and nice. Yeah? So fetch yourself these 4 things and please be ready. Also, you need a 5th thing. I would request all of you to have a notebook and a pen or a pencil also ready. You can either have a notebook, or in the event you don't have a notebook, you could use an A4 size paper. Any plain paper works. Because we will be doing an experiment, we will be recording our observations, and we will also be writing about it. So we're going to be doing 3 things, right? We are going to observe what you see in the class, and then I will give you some time. You will do the experiment yourself, and after that you're going to be recording. You know, all great scientists, people, you might have heard of names like Newton or scientist, or Newton or Einstein. For all of these people, you know what they used to do when they worked in their laboratory? They would wear a laboratory coat, and they would have a pencil or a pen and a notebook. Everything that they do in the laboratory, they would immediately note it down, because it's very difficult to remember everything that happens. Every tiny little detail is something that all scientists used to record. So today, all of you are going to be just like those wonderful, great scientists. You all will also keep a pen and a notebook, or a pencil and a notebook ready. And I will tell you when to write. Okay? The first part of the class, we're all going to sit quietly and observe. We are not going to be doing the experiment immediately. Then when I tell you, go ahead and try and do it, you will do it. And then at the end of it, we will all write, and we will do some drawing also. All right, so you all have some time. We have 3 minutes to go before this class starts. So get yourself an A4 size paper, a black or any marker pen or any sketch pen of any color, a transparent glass, right? We need a transparent glass. It can be plastic also. That's perfectly fine. Get yourself a transparent glass. And then you need water. Get yourself a big jug of water. The jug can be made of anything. You can get it a big pot of water, a big vessel of water, whatever it is, that's fine. So you should have some water near you. If you're very young and if you still don't know how to pour water carefully, you know, water might spill and things like that, you can take your parents' help. So those of you who want to run and get all the materials and be ready, please do so. We have 2 more minutes to go before we begin our class today. I also just want to be quickly very sure. Do all of you know how to use the raise hand button on your devices, whatever phone or whatever it is that you're using? Can you all press the raise hand once and just show me that you know how to use it? Yeah? Can you all show me how to use the raise hand button? That's wonderful. A lot of you know how to use your raise hand button. Okay. We might be using this quite often in the class. So those of you who are familiar with how to use the raise hand button, please do that. It's very helpful. Okay. Wonderful. So if you all are ready, shall we get started? Can I have a quick show of hands? Those of you who are ready, can you just, now I'm just lowering all hands. Yeah, those of you are ready, can you press raise hand? Excellent. I can see a lot of hands that have gone up. Alrighty, so we will get started in just a moment. So let's get settled in our place wherever we are. And we are going to begin. Yes, now here's the first experiment. And you all will watch this. And right now, don't do anything. All right? Right now, don't do anything. Right? Okay. Let's start. You will just carefully observe. That's our first experiment for today. And this experiment involves a little bit of magic. A little bit of magic in water. And we will call this experiment an optical illusion. The words may be a little big, but don't worry about that. Yeah? Okay, so let's see what magic is going to happen in today's experiment. Okay, so first step, take a piece of paper. This is what I want all of you to do. Take a piece of paper and we're going to pause. Take your A4 size paper, take your marker pens or sketch pens or if you don't have a sketch pen or a marker pen, use crayons. You could use a ballpoint pen and draw two arrows really thick so that you can see very easily if you were to place a glass in front of it. You all have a minute. Take a minute's time. Yes, now I'm going to give you all one last minute. Take a minute's time. Okay, so I'm hoping all of you are done with your arrow. Are you all done with your arrow? If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, and now once you're done with your arrow, I want all of you to just observe the next step on the video, right? All of you have got your glass. If you've got your glass, get that. Now put your piece of paper against something, maybe a wall, maybe a table, maybe a stand, anything. It has to rest against something vertically. And then bring your glass and let's see, put the glass now in front of it. Can you all see the arrows that are behind the glass? I'm hoping that you can. Yes? Okay, so now place it. I want all of you to do this. Place the glass in front of the white paper so that you can clearly see the arrows behind it. Excellent. Now, once you're done, I'm going to give all of you just 30 more seconds to do this so that you can be very sure that the glass that you're using is transparent. Because if it is not, if you want to go run and get another glass that is transparent, do that. Okay, so now let's watch the next part. Let's see what's going on here. Now I want you to take that water and I want you to pour a little bit of water. See, not too much. The water should only be up to where the first arrow has come. Can you see that something magical has happened? If you can see something magical has happened, please do raise your hands. If you see something magical has happened, let's see. Okay, so the magic that's happened is that the arrow that was earlier facing this side is now facing the other way. Can you all see that? Okay, now I'll give you all 1 minute's time. Go and get a jug of water. Pour it in your glass. Now pour it in your glass and see for yourself whether you can also see the same magic that's happened on the screen. Let me give all of you a minute's time. If you need your mother or grandmother or grandfather or any adult's help, go fetch it. You can fetch them, ask them to come and pour the water in front. Now, while you all are doing this, I'm just going to wait and I'm going to just quickly show. Some of you all have joined recently, right? So I'll just take you all a step back and I'll show you what happened at the beginning. So if you've just joined the class, please take a piece of paper and draw two thick arrows, very thick, so that you can easily see the arrows through any transparent object. Now get yourself. So I'll give you all a minute. For those of you who just joined the class, take a piece of paper and draw these two thick arrows. You can use a marker pen or a sketch pen or crayons or a ballpoint pen. The important thing is that the arrow should be clear and visible based on what you're drawing. Now once you've done that, take a transparent glass and bring it in front of the two arrows, and you can see that both the arrows are pointing the same side. Now pour water only up to the first arrow, and now you will see that something magical has happened. How many of you have finished doing so far? Oh, great. I can see a lot of people who've raised their hands. This is absolutely fantastic. Okay, now while I'm very happy to see that a lot of you have finished the experiment, how many of you need some more time to do this? Can you quickly raise your hands? If any of you needs any more time to do this, please raise your hands. Anybody needs? Okay, great. So it looks like most of you are done. Now let's move ahead. Okay. Now let's see what's happened next. Now, if you move the glass away and bring the glass back, what do you see? You see that the arrow has remained the same on paper, but when you turn the arrow alone, it looks very, very different, right? It's turned the other way around. Now pour some more water. I'm going to pause here. And for those of you who've done so far, now pour some more water into your glass. And now let's see what has happened to the arrow that was there on the top. Let's see what has happened to the arrow on the top. Has the arrow on the top also seen something magical? It has, right? So even the arrow on the top has now moved to the other side. It was looking this way, and now that arrow is now looking the other way. Let's see. So those of you, I'm just going to give you all 30 more seconds. If you want to pour some more water and try the experiment, please do that. Just 30 more seconds. Okay. Now, take the glass and move the glass away from the paper like this. And take the glass back and keep it there. Have you seen that the arrows, both the arrows have again changed sides? Any of you who needs extra time to do this, let me know. Okay, now, for those of you who've done, or if some of you don't have the material that you need, please feel free to, go ahead and try this experiment once you find a transparent glass for yourself. Okay? All you need is a piece of paper with the arrows and a transparent glass. Okay, now very quickly. Now everybody, I want all of you to come in front of the device, come close, because I'm going to ask you some questions you will see on your screen. Okay? All of you. Now, the first question, you will see two questions, right? The first question, why do you think this has happened? What is this? So I want all of you to try and give me your answers, right? The first question is, what has happened? Did the arrow turn itself on the paper? Was that the reason? Or was it because when you look through water, it's very difficult to see very clearly? Maybe is that what's happening, that we can't see properly through water? Or is it something that's happening to the light? Does the light bend when it enters water? Is that probably the reason? So tell me, which of these three is the correct reason? You think, right? You don't have to be an expert. Whatever you think is the answer, I would love to hear from all of you. Second question, have you seen something like this happening anywhere else in life? For instance, if you've ever been near a swimming pool and if you've looked through it, have you seen something like this happening there? Or in your own house, if there's a bucket filled with water and if you put a mug inside it, have you seen something like this twisting, turning thing happening? Or no, I have never seen something like this. This is the first time in my life I am seeing something turning the other way around inside the water. Okay, that's fantastic. I see that a lot of you have given me your answers, and we're just going to be waiting for 20 more seconds for some more of you to give your answers. Whatever you think is the right answer, I'd love for you to answer it. There is no such thing as perfectly right and perfectly wrong, because the only way to understand science is by doing a lot of experiments and is by guessing what might be happening. There is no such thing as a correct and a perfectly incorrect answer. Okay, that's great. So now, so let me show you what happened once, and then I will show you something else about why this happens. So very quickly, what do you think really happened? So the real correct answer is that whenever light travels, right? Light tends to travel from the paper to the glass. So light, what happened to light? Let's imagine there is a light ray. It comes from the paper, it comes to the glass, and then it comes to our eyes. We are in front of it, right? So the light has to travel through from paper to the air, to the glass, and then on to the other side. Now, when light has to travel like that, something funny happens. Now, this water acts somewhat like a prism. And very simply put, when the light comes from there, it reaches a central point and then it bends and it moves the other side. So let's look at what this arrow was appearing earlier. Look at this. Right? Let's take another quick look here. Now, see, look at the light that was there. The light from this point of the arrow comes to the glass. Now, let's move the glass in front. Let's just wait for the glass to come to the front. Right? Now, the light has come to the central point of the glass and then it bent. It took a small turn and it came the other way around. So that is what causes this magical optical illusion. The light comes from there, it bends and we can see it on the other side from a different perspective. Okay. So for those of you who may have learned this in science, because I see that a lot of you give the correct answer or the answer that explains why this happens. And I'm really happy to see that. For the others, this is something new, right? About how light bends when it enters water and you can see it the other way around. Okay, so now all of you have answered your question. So let's see. Now very quickly. So the correct answer is light bends. Now other examples, I know I'd asked some of you about this. Where else have we seen this in life? This is somewhat like the floor of a swimming pool. But instead of showing you a floor of a swimming pool, I've just shown you a color picture. This is if you've seen some swimming pools have these bright colored strips. And now as you can see, when you put water on it, see how the light bends and this straight line looks like a bent curve over it. So this is another example of what you might see in life. I have another interesting experiment for all of you that you can try later at home, not now, okay? Here. This is an experiment. Take any glass of water and then put a coin. Let the coin stay right down below. But when you see it, it would look as though the coin is up there because again the light from the coin has bent. So the eye starts believing, oh my God, the coin has actually changed places. Yeah? Okay. So this is another experiment that y'all can try to find out more about how the light bends. Okay, now it's drawing time. All of you please go run and fetch yourself your notebook and paper. It can be an A4 size paper and your pen or pencil. Please go fetch that. And if y'all are ready, those of you who are ready, please raise your hand. Those of you who are ready? Yeah. Excellent. Okay. So now first step in your drawing is this. Okay. Thank you, kids. I can see some fantastic response. A lot of you are ready. Okay. Let's move. Now open your notebook or take your piece of paper. And the first thing that I want all of you to do is to write your name on the top, your grade, that means which class you're in, and the name of your school and today's date, and write the topic as optical illusion. I'm going to give all of you 60 seconds to finish this up. Yeah? Take 60 seconds and finish this up. Okay, now if you're done with this, this is what we need to do next. We have to now draw what we did in the experiment. So you first draw a rectangle and inside that draw a glass that you used for your experiment. So draw a rectangle outside and then a glass inside that. And then draw water up to 1/2 of the glass. You can use any color. You could use a blue color to shade the water, or if you just want to use pencil, you can use pencil also to shade the water. But your drawing has to be crisp, clean, and clear. It's very important that when we understand something that goes on in science, that the drawings are very crisp, clean, and clear. Okay? Awesome. So now, up to 1/2 of the glass, please draw water. And now draw an arrow on the top which faces left, and then draw an arrow on the bottom that faces right. I'll give you all about 60 seconds to finish this. Then let's take a quick poll to understand how many of you have finished this. Remember, on the top, write your name, write which class you're in. Okay, so if you're not done, please raise your hands, those of you who finished the drawing. Next, once we're done with this, this is what we're going to be doing next. We are going to write about what happened. So we will write on the right hand side what really happened. First thing is that the arrow above the water looked just the same, it never changed, right? But the arrow below the water was reversed. It was looking the other way, right? Yes. And then on the left hand side, you will write why. Why did this happen? The light bends when it moves through the water. Okay, I'm going to give all of you 1 minute's time. Once you've finished doing this drawing, I want to see all of you holding up your drawing in front of the camera so that I can see how well you all have understood. And I'll tell you when to do it. Not yet, not yet. Just bear with me for a moment. We'll just give everybody a minute more to complete this drawing and the writing that has to go on top of the drawing. You're not done? Okay, that's excellent. Now, let me see, can you all hold up the drawing you've done in front of the camera? I would love to see how all of you have understood what was expected of you. Oh my God, I see some very, very good pieces. So the written work is that on the right side, you will write that the arrow did not reverse when it was above the water, and the arrow below the water reversed itself. And then you will write why. Why? Because light bends itself when it goes through the water. Superb. I'm seeing some very, very nice pieces of work. Let's quickly see once more. Hold on. Okay, Parambir, fantastic. Kirtana, lovely. Soumya, Astik, excellent piece of work. Nishka, you've written very nicely. Rishika, Shri, again super. Guru Kamesh Reddy, very good job, all of you. And let's see some more. Harshika Narula, very well done. Beautifully drawn. Let's see. Amrita V, you've drawn the arrows as I can see, but I'm unable to see if you have written anything. Chinmayi, Arfan Ahmed, Hari Shankar, fantastic. Neil, very, very nicely written. I see you've used some interesting colors also in your writing. Excellent. Vrinda, beautiful. Unnati, Yashasvi, Sanvi, all of you. Anish, very well done. What are you holding that on? On a piece of cup? or you bent the paper that you've drawn on. Meenakshi, Tikshika, Ishan, Nigar, very, very nicely drawn. Your drawing is clear and crisp. That's excellent. Let's see any more kids who've done. Monica Shri, very nicely drawn. Bhavya, excellent. Okay, now those of you who finished, we are going to start the second experiment. Go run and get yourself a plastic water bottle, a straw, a pair of scissors, and some water. Any plastic water bottle, yes, you'll need a pair of scissors, and you will need a straw. Superb work. I can see a lot of you who have completed your drawing. So for those of you who finished this, please go and fetch yourself a straw. Just a second. Go and fetch yourself an empty plastic water bottle. Please get an empty bottle, but if you have water in it, it's okay. Just that you have to put a hole and all in it, so you might find it a little tricky if you've already got water in it. So get a plastic water bottle, get a balloon, get a pair of scissors, and get some straws. Now, for those of you, ma'am, I don't have any of this right now with me. It's okay. So now I want all of you to observe and see what's going on in the experiment. And after this class is over, you will note everything down and we will be doing the drawing together, just as we did the first drawing. And I would like all of you to try the experiment later when you can get the balloon, get the plastic bottle and the straw and the scissors and have everything ready. And you can show this and demonstrate this to your parents and your friends. They would be so thrilled. Second experiment is very, very thrilling. That you might want to try it later at home. So it's okay if you don't have all these materials right now. Yeah? Okay, hold on. So I'm going to just give everybody one last minute. Go run, fetch yourself straws, an empty plastic bottle, balloon, scissors or knife. But if you're using a knife, please have your parents or an adult around. It's safer that way. And get yourself some water. Okay? All right. So if you're all set, let us get started. And here we go. Okay, here's the next experiment. And like I said the last time, you'll first observe and I'll tell you when you're supposed to do something. At that time, you can do. So this experiment is called a water fountain experiment. Okay? So because in this, we're going to create fountain which is made of water. As you might have always seen, fountains outside some very interesting amusement parks, etc. So here are the materials. So just showing all of you. If you need a minute, go run and get the materials and come. It's a plastic bottle, a straw, a pair of scissors, balloon. Glue is good to have. If you don't have glue, it's okay for now. Okay? Are you all ready? Shall we get started? Can I move ahead? If I can, just press raise hand on your screen, please. Oh my God, awesome. So all of you are ready. Okay, that's excellent. I'm assuming you all have all finished your drawing also, right? Does anybody need any extra time for the drawing? If you do, just raise hand, please. Those of you who need any extra time for the drawing, do you need? We're done? Awesome. Excellent. Okay. So now everybody eyes on the screen and you're going to carefully observe step one. Okay. Step one, everybody first take your plastic bottle, take your scissors and make a tiny little hole. I'll show you once more. Okay. Just pay attention. Yeah. That's all we need. Take your bottle, take your scissors and the end, make a tiny little hole. I'm going to wait for all of you to take your water bottle and take your scissors and make a tiny little hole. If you need help, because if the scissors doesn't make a good hole, if you need your mom or dad or grandparent or aunt or uncle's help, take that to make this hole. with a knife. So the hole has to be big enough for a straw to go inside. So you see the next step. Now, yeah, you got to now take a straw and put it inside. And here, if you have glue, it's good to put some glue on top of the straw. Yeah, now let me give all of you another minute. Please get your water bottle, put a tiny little hole inside it. We'll see what happened once more, just quickly. You put a hole, put your straw. If you have glue, please use that. And then place this a, inside a cup. You can just place it on your table also, that is fine. The cup is only if you happen to be pouring water and it spills outside, okay? Now, for those of you who are done, you can start pouring some water inside it. Now, can you all tell me, does anybody, now I want you to use the raise hand button and tell me this. For how many of you think the water will now, don't raise your hand yet, I'm going to ask you a question and I want the answer from you using the raise hand. Okay, now hold on. Don't raise hand yet, okay? How many of you think because there is a straw inside the bottle, the water will anyway flow out? Those of you who think that because there is a straw inside the bottle, the water is now going to start flowing out. Do you think that? No? Okay, fantastic. Let's see what happens. Oh yes, you were all right. Water never flew out. Okay, now take a balloon, blow it, and I'm going to wait for a moment while you go get settled with your balloon. I'll just show you the next step. Once you blow the balloon, you need to seal it or wrap it on the mouth of the bottle. I'll pause over here. So take your balloon, blow it, and then once more. Let's see what happened. You take your balloon, blow it, put it on the bottle and seal it tightly like this. Okay? Are you all set? I'll give you all a little bit of time because blowing a balloon takes some time, right? It takes some time. Blow the balloon and seal it on top of the bottle. Okay, so I'm assuming most of you are done by now. Let's see what happens next. When you do this, you see the water's flown out just like a water fountain. Water just flew out of the straw of the bottle. How lovely. Okay. Let me give all of you a little bit of time. If you want to try this experiment, please feel free to. You can do the same thing if you want and try this later, not now in the class. Try it later. You can take 5 straws and you can put 5 different straws on the bottle. But I just want all of you now, put all your pen, pencil, everything down. Put your bottle down, put your knife, scissors, whatever it is that you have, put everything down and look carefully at the screen and see what's going to happen next. If you put 5 straws in a bottle and all the straws are going right down below, again you blow a balloon, put it on top of it, all the water flows out like a beautiful little fountain. Now, isn't this fun? Okay, now I don't know if how many of you have any idea what's going on here. What's the reason for this experiment? What's the reason that the water flows out? Okay, so now you all have some questions in front of you. Come in front of your device using a phone or a laptop, whatever it is. Now come, see that in front of your device. Try and guess what's going on, okay? First question, why do you think this happens? Is the balloon sucking all the water? Water will always, is it because water always flows through the straw? Is that what's happening? Or is some air pressing the water in the bottle? Is that what's happening? That's the first question. Second question is, have you ever seen something like this happen anywhere else? Is it when you're playing and bouncing a balloon in the air? Oh no, I've never seen it. Oh yes. When I drink anything through a straw, I've often seen something like this happen. That's the second question. And the third question is, would you like to try this experiment again later? You might want to do it because I think some of you might need your parents' help. But some of you are old enough and you can try this experiment all by yourself. I would urge you and I would love it if you all try, especially the 5-straw one. You'll get a beautiful fountain flowing right out of it. So definitely try that. Okay, wonderful. So as I can see, most of you have given your answers and I can see that a lot of you have got the answer correct. The reason for the water flowing out of the straw like a fountain, most of you have got the answer correct. The real reason uh, is that third point that you all have mentioned, air presses water, and I'm just going to show you what happens, how the air presses the water, just in just a minute. And I've seen that a lot of you have also noticed where else you see it. That's also fantastic. Okay, excellent. So now let's go back and now understand what happened, and we will then go back to drawing our answers. Okay, here we go. So we've done our answers and I see a lot of you got the answer right, and the answer is that there is pressure inside the balloon. So look at it, there's a lot of pressure that's built. What is pressure? Let's just say there's a lot of air that has built inside the balloon. So much air inside the balloon that all the air comes down and presses on the water, and because of that the water rises through the straw, then it all flows down. So the reason why this happens is when there is air, it presses the water or the liquid and it helps it flow outside. Okay, here are a couple of other places in life where you must have seen it. The most common, if you all have gone out to buy tender coconut, you usually drink tender coconut with a straw, right? What you're doing is when you're sucking, you're taking all the air out. So the remaining air pressure builds on the surface. There's air on the milk which goes down and it flows up through the straw into your mouth when you're drinking anything. It's very, very similar. Okay, now all of you get ready for your drawing time. Get yourself your notebooks and pen or pencil. Shall we get started? Those of you who are ready with your pen or pencil for drawing, can you please raise your hand very quickly? Oh my God, so many of you are ready. That's fantastic. Okay, sounds awesome. Any of you that needs some time to do the experiment, to try it? Anybody who needs extra time for anything, please just raise your hand. That's good enough. Okay, no, fantastic. Okay, here's what you'll have to do. So let's see. Again, please go write your name, your grade, today's date, your name of your school, and then write the topic as the water fountain. And yeah, once you've done that, this is the drawing that we need to do. So you will first draw a bottle, then you will draw a balloon on top of it, and then you will draw some water in the bottle. You will also draw a straw and some water coming out of it. Okay, take your time. I'm going to give all of you a minute or two to write your names, the date, the name of your school, your grade, and all of these things. Once you're ready, I want to see all of your drawings on the camera. I'll tell you when to bring it in front of your device because I would love to see how much you all have understood and how beautifully you all have drawn. So please do bring it in front of the camera and show it. Take a little bit more time now. Your drawing doesn't have to be perfect. The bottle can look a little different. You can use different colors if you want for the water, the straw, the balloon. So your balloon doesn't have to be black. Your balloon can be red in color. The balloon can be any other color that you really like as well. Let me give all of you a couple of minutes as well to do this, okay? Because this drawing usually takes a little bit extra time. If you have any doubts about the drawing, please do write in on the chat. I'll happily respond to your question. Okay. Are you all done with your drawing? Are you ready to show me your drawing? Are you all done with your drawings? Okay, now I'd love for all of you to bring your drawing in front of your camera and show it to me now. Let's see. We haven't done the writing part yet, so just wait. I just want to see how many of you have done the drawing part. Okay, awesome. So I can quickly see that some of you finished the drawing part. Shall we do the writing part now very, very quickly so that we understand what's happened? Okay, here's the writing. What happened now? The water starts flowing out of the straw just like a fountain because the water first rises up through the straw. Can you all take a minute and write this on your paper, on your drawing paper? Water starts flowing out of the straw like a fountain because it rises up through the straw. Okay? Take a minute, write this. And the next thing you also need to write is why. Because there is air pressure in the balloon. There's a lot of air inside the balloon that pushes the air downward. That's why water flows right out like a fountain. All right? Okay, so let's take another minute to write this. Okay, are you all done? Okay, can those of you who are done, please hold up your drawing in front of the camera so that I can see your drawing. Okay. Let me see how many of you have finished very quickly. Okay, Brinda, very, very well done. Your writing is clear, drawing is great. Yashasvi, oh, lovely. Your bottle looks very, very nice. Vedika, Vishrut, Tejas, Sujit. Very, very well done. I can see a lot of you. Gagana Shri. It's superbly done. Janalakshmi. Dishika. Excellent. A lot of you have done a very, very, very good job as I can see. Okay. That's fantastic. Okay, so those of you who still need some more time to wrap up your work, please take your time. And just to quickly remind all of you, here's how you need to submit your work to us. Okay, you can either email it to us at hello@yoloapp.com with the subject, the science experiment. Please write your name, the child's grade, and the name of the school. And remember, the top best 10 children, your names will be declared on the YOLO app in the view section. Those of you who can, please do also upload it on social media using on either Facebook or Instagram. And you can tag YOLO app. And only if you tag YOLO app can we look at your submissions. Otherwise, it's hard for us. Also use these hashtags YOLO app and YOLO learning. And quick reminder, tomorrow we have a class 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. by Vitika ma'am. This is a quilling class. So for quilling class, you will need some quilling strips, quilling tool, and any color paper of your choice, pencil, a ruler or glue, sketch pens and scissors. Okay, so I look forward to seeing a lot of you in tomorrow's class. And more importantly, I would love to see your science experiment drawing submissions on email or on social media. And I will be looking at all of them to identify the top 10 best submissions. Before we log off, I have just one last question. I would love to know how many of you liked today's class? And can you also tell me in which class you all are studying in? Yeah, can you just tell us, are you anywhere in LKG or UKG, grade 1 or first standard or second standard? Grade 1, 2 means first or second standard. Grade 3 means third standard. So which class are you in? Can you just quickly tell us which class you're in? How did you like the class? Did you find it very difficult? Did you really like it? Was it awesome? Was it fantastic? How many of you would like to attend another such science experiment class? Please write in to us about that as well. Okay? Awesome. I can see a lot of responses. And I can see that children are, I mean, for a lot of you, you seem to have understood the experiment quite well because you're of a good grade where you're able to easily do it. And also these used materials that we actually have at home. And I'm glad that a lot of you found it easy to follow and do it on your own. So we will be having another science experiment class very shortly. You will see it in our schedule, and I look forward to seeing all of you in that class as well. All right. Okay, so for those of you who are done, you're welcome to log off. I will see all of you in the next science experiment class, hopefully next week. Bye-bye till then. And remember to send in your submissions, the drawing submissions, if you would like to be selected as one of the winners. Bye-bye.